So if we are to move on from golf, how much does that open up ballpark? Like a lot.
Next year, if we do it, we up 20 million.
Okay. So having said that, do we want to talk about the draft?
I mean, we can, because I think Eazy at one point in time was very, very high on a particular safety being drafted at 2. And I'm curious on, like, are you still big on Kyle Hamilton at 2, or have you kind of like
Team Hamilton?
Have you kind of like turned the corner and have a new like number 1 option for the Lions?
I don't really have. It's weird, man. Like, this draft is like really weird. I don't really have a number 1 option per se. Like, and this is like the first time I feel like I felt this way in a really long time. At one point, it was Kyle Hamilton. I think he's probably like he'll probably end up being the most elite guy out of this class. At least he's projected to be by like plenty of other people. I think the only people you can make the argument for is probably the offensive linemen, depending on what situation they end up in. But like with the whole Kyle Hamilton thing, I think the thing that's important to remember is like this class is it's deep with like starters, but not top tier talent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like when you have a guy that's projected to be top tier talent like Kyle Hamilton, and you're in a rebuild, like no matter who we take this year, it's still only year 2 of a rebuild. Like, why not grab a great defensive piece like Kyle Hamilton? You know, you put on the tape all these dudes, who pops off the tape the most? It's Kyle Hamilton. Like, but I'm not. Oh, you made a face, Miko. Who else?
Kayvon pops off in my opinion. Like, Kayvon's speed and his ability to just like beat guys off the snap is freakish to me. I know he's not Myles Garrett. I know he's not any of the Bosas, but like that is something.
He's quick.
Yeah, I'm with you. The stuff you see him do though, that does pop off. You're 100% right. But I know that's not going to happen in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? You're not just going to run around tackle like that as frequently as he did. And I think you're going to need some pass rush moves in your repertoire when when it gets to that. And dude, the conference season is pass happy as hell. He should have just as many sacks as Aiden, if not more. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I think and I think that's fair, right? I think when it comes to Kyle Hamilton, I think something similar could be said, right, about like what you're saying about like Kayvon. Like, he probably won't be able to make as many plays, but that's why like I've gone back and forth. Like, Kayvon has been my number 1 because I do believe I think he has enough moves, right? Like, I get what you're saying. Like, he does need to add more, but I think he has enough with speed, with the long arm, with to be able to dip. Like, he has enough.
He could develop more. So like what the hope is.
Yeah. And my thing with Kyle Hamilton was, because like safety is by far my favorite position in the NFL. So
biased.
My only thing with Kyle Hamilton, and it was really like Kyle Hamilton at 2. If the Lions were picking at 5, I would have no qualm whatsoever about Kyle Hamilton. It's Kyle Hamilton at 2, and I felt like in order to draft Kyle Hamilton at 2, he would have to be this freakish athlete to justify like what you see on tape. Like, okay, I see what you're doing on tape. Let me make sure that your numbers match so that I know that like, oh, you really can hang with anybody. And I've been a little disappointed by like his numbers. And that's just like,
I agree.
It's a concern for me, because it's like, yes, you can go from like middle of the field to the sideline in college against, various degrees of quarterbacks, but can you do that against Aaron Rodgers? Can you do that against Patrick Mahomes? Are you going to be able to do that when you have guys that throw the ball at a ridiculously high level, and they're like, and you're going to need that level of athleticism to kind of like, give you that extra edge to be able to make the same type of plays that you made in college.
Yeah, I mean, with that, for me, is like, if you were to hop in Madden right now and you were to create like a safety, a lot of the tangibles that Kyle Hamilton has, the height, the length, the play recognition is like what you'd give that guy. Other than that, too, like in terms of like athletic ability, like you look at the.
What would you name him though? I wouldn't name him Kyle Hamilton.
I'd name him like
what, John? What's that one guy in the draft that we were laughing? What?
Smoke Monday.
Smoke Monday.
Smoke Monday.
Smoke Monday is a good one. But no, just he's just like
Ingleberry.
He's something you like I said, you make him in Madden, dude. And like,
in
terms of like the athleticism, go back to look at like these Pro Bowl or even like Hall of Fame guys and their combine numbers. Fucking Tom Brady. I mean, it's a totally different position, right? But like they're not always the greatest. Ed Reed ran like a 4.56, which is what Hamilton ran as pro day. Like these workout warriors, it's what it is. Like the tape is when they're actually playing football, that speaks more to me ever than a 40 time would. You know what I'm saying? No, like receivers like, all right, I'm gonna let you run the straight line speed at me without making like any. You know what I'm saying? It's just
and I'm with you 100% when it comes to that. I think.
Yeah, I mean, look at St. Brown last year.
Well, I would say like the only thing that really what made me really nervous and is kind of like that's really taking Kyle Hamilton off the board for me is his pro day numbers. Like I don't know if you've heard like the rumors that he ran a 4.7, and so like now I have like teased Tabor like yeah, like they came out. So Daniel Jeremiah came out and was like, yeah, he heard from like people that were at Kyle Hamilton's pro day that he ran a 4.7.
I thought
and so
4.56. I could be wrong.
He ran a 4.5. Yeah, he ran a 4.5
at the combine.
But they said that he ran
his pro day. Ran.
Let me see.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I'll have to like
sports right now.
So anyway, so Eazy. Who do you think they're gonna take? Just what do you think they're gonna do now? What would you? Two questions. This is a two-parter. What do you think they're gonna do, and what would you do?
Well, I'm playing.
Finger dance is what he would do.
So, yeah. Being a part of Woodward Sports, and we have sources now, which is kind of crazy, right? I have sources now.
Yeah.
And 3 different sources piecing the story together. I got my answer today when a report kind of confirmed like the whole situation. So we have a very reliable source. You guys might have heard this already, but we have a very reliable source in the Jaguars front office. And there are teams calling to, see interest in moving up to number 1 to beat Detroit to Malik Willis. Now, the other thing too is Brad Holmes loves Kyle Hamilton. Brad Holmes loves Kayvon Thibodeaux more, but neither of them at 2. So it sounds like they want to trade back, given the opportunity. Even if Willis is taking number 1, they still plan on trading back and try to land either Kayvon or Kyle Hamilton. Which, if you look at mock drafts, both those guys. Well, I don't know about Kyle as much, but Kayvon's fallen pretty deep, obviously. And then you get the extra draft capital along with it. Which we have a GM like Brad Holmes. You want more draft capital, in my opinion.
Yeah. Give him more chances to pick a winner. You will
give him more bullets to fire. And
he can. That's fair. I'll give you that. Okay, so wait. So hold on. You've heard it here second, because I'm sure you said this today, but
I actually haven't got to say it yet. No, but everything I confirmed today when Brad Holmes talked about, like, he's been taking
it here first.
Questionable podcast exclusive.
It's a questionable.
You guys beat the heavyweights to this one,
obviously. Okay, so I'm not 100% following. So people are trying to get the first pick to get Malik Willis?
Yeah, so it sounds like Detroit wants Malik Willis or to trade back.
Got it. Okay.
They want to trade back just far enough where they could still be able to land either Hamilton.
Got it.
Or
got it. So if somebody wants Malik, they got to go to 1. If we stay, and somebody's got to go to 1 if they want Malik, because we'll probably take him at 2.
Correct. Or if and again, this could also be us trying to hype up the 2 pick to sell to someone who wants Malik. I mean, that could be a 2, but if sources are correct, teams are trying to jump Detroit, or at least calling to see what they got to do to jump Detroit to get Malik.
So
Detroit's
wow.
So if Malik was gone, so if Malik goes, like, say somebody does jump up to 1, right, and pays a king's ransom to get Jacksonville's pick, and they get Malik, the Lions then would take Kayvon over Hutchinson and anybody else. Like, that would be like their second choice.
They know, so Kayvon, and this source. So there's 3 different sources. One actually works in the Jags front office, so those calls are being made.
Yeah,
right.
So the second source is a scout who says they fucking love Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
And the third source, this is like the kind of sketchy one, but when the news came out that they were fielding calls today, kind of confirmed a little bit, is that Kayvon was number 1 on their board.
Okay.
Interesting.
Which obviously with him falling back all the character stuff, you don't have to take him at 2, right? So you can shuffle to move back a little bit and land him. And if you don't land him, you still have Hamilton there, which he said the other day too, that he thinks that our strengths are the defensive line and offensive line. He wants to build around the perimeter, which obviously perimeter would be like your defensive backs, receivers, and stuff like that. I mean, it speaks Hamilton a little bit there, but that's what I expect to happen. Wow. I know everyone's in love with Aiden. Everyone has a hard on for Aiden. Hopefully other NFL teams do too, so that trade does happen. But like, all due respect to Aiden, I met him, I conversated with him. To me, he's Chris Long. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Got it.
Come on, Chris Long's nice. You know what I'm saying, but like, I'd move back and take a gamble on Kayvon Thibodeaux and get some along with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Aiden to me is to be a little more recent is Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals, right? Like probably like
and that's like the high side of it, you know?
Right. That exactly right. Like he could be productive. It's probably going to take him a couple years, but even at his ceiling, he'll probably just like have like, and again, that's still a lot of sacks, but like 14 sacks is probably like his ceiling. Would you be happy if, let's say they stay at 2, let's say that there's no trades and the Lions stay at 2. What would be your reaction if like it's Malik Willis at 2? Like they can't trade down, they can't move anywhere, like they're stuck at 2, and then like the name that they call is Malik Willis.
Let's fucking go, boys. That's what I'm saying. Fuck it. It is what it is. Like, you're not passing on a generational, at least it's not predicted because anything can happen, right? No one expects JJ Watt to be JJ Watt, TJ Watt to be TJ Watt, you know, so on and so on. But you're not passing on generational talent if you don't take those guys. So if you could take a swing on a Kyle Hamilton, you could take a swing on a Jordan Davis, in my opinion. You could take a swing on a Jordan Davis, take a swing on a Malik Willis. The thing with Malik Willis, Scott, and I've been preaching this since Trey Lance, when I thought Trey Lance could fall to us last year. Nothing, and my boy Scott Bischoff pounds us into, nothing would turn your franchise around for the better like having a quarterback on a rookie deal.